Welcome back, and if this is the first time you are joining us, I hope you enjoy this Kruger experience. I get so nervous when I see hyenas in the road like this because people drive so fast, and if they're not concentrating, it could be a disaster. Plus, these hyenas are very trusting, so I don't like it when they do this. This was a beautiful scene. This young hyena was getting quite irritated with the starling that was calling in the tree above it here, and he was restless, or she was restless, really bored. The other hyenas were trying to catch up on sleep. They'd probably been busy during the night trying to scavenge or hunt something and were trying to catch up on sleep, whereas the youngster, as I say, was very bored. Research shown that in Kruger, hyenas catch about 50% of what they eat. So they hunt about half of what they eat, and the other half they scavenge. So they do a lot of hunting, and the clans are territorial. So the clan size depends on food availability, but it can be from sort of 6 individuals up to about 30 in Kruger. Male hyenas weigh about 60 kilograms, whereas females weigh between 70 and 90. So they're quite a lot larger. Hyenas can detect the smell of carrion about 4 kilometers away. So they've got a very good sense of smell, and the adults bring very little food back to the den, which I guess makes sense. This hyena with the spots, the quite obvious spots, is younger. As they get older, the spots fade. There's the starling that the youngster has now successfully chased out the tree. She's now making herself a comfy spot to lie down, but like a dog does, and plonked herself. Mission accomplished. Starling has moved on. The gestation period of a hyena is about 3 months, and they have litters of one or two cubs at a time, any time of the year. Very often, if both the cubs are females, then one will kill the other. The cubs are normally weaned by about a year and a half. For me, the natural tendency is to call young hyenas pups. That's what I always want to call them. But the correct terminology is cubs. You can see this large female has got a collar on her, obviously for research purposes. But she must be the mom of the youngster because she's licking it here, and they only really lick and suckle their own young. So this is probably the mom. She's turned over so the youngster can now drink from her. Settling down at last. This is a female waterbuck. There's her youngster. Waterbuck are usually found within 2 kilometers of water, so they never venture too far from it. They eat mainly grass, and they prefer long grass actually. You can see this is quite a nice little group. They're normally in herds of about 6 to 12, but they can occur in aggregations of up to 30. These are young, well, not so young, they're actually waterbuck bulls, and in the background there are some kudu walking by. And the taller trees sort of in the middle of the image are apple leaf trees. Oh, we've got a wildebeest here, a gnu that has just photobombed the the video. So waterbuck males breed at about 5 to 6 years old, whereas the cows they can calve at 2 years old, and they give birth to young at any time of the year, which is in stark contrast to impala, who have their youngsters sort of within a 3-week period around November, December. So waterbuck aren't like that at all. This is a magnificent bull. They're actually territorial, the bulls, but will tolerate other bulls in their territory if they behave submissively. There's some giraffes in the background and a female waterbuck lying in the shade there. Waterbucks smell a bit like goats because they've got glands in their skin that give them that smell, especially the large males. On this trip, I saw quite a few waterbuck males trying to mount females, so there must have been quite a few females in estrus. Cows actually leave the herd to give birth, and the calf will lie hidden for 3 to 4 weeks. The male calves at anywhere between 9 months to a year will join bachelor groups when their horns start to grow and show. But female calves stay in the herd in which they were born. This is a very popular lady. You can see that male's got a bit of blood on the side of his neck, probably from fighting with another male over females. This male seemed to be quite out of breath with all the antics going on. Lots of flies on him. These little youngsters are in the nursery together. Look how glossy his coat is. It's beautiful. You can hear the oxpeckers coming in onto these buffalo bulls. I just love seeing buffaloes in a riverbed like this and in their natural habitat, and gives you a sense of perspective and place. These are Birchall zebras. You can see the one in the middle has a very narrow black stripe between its legs, so that's a male. The one on the right, you can see that band of black is quite broad. That's a female. This baby elephant was so cute. This is a large giraffe bull. There's a female in the background there as well. One walking in, and this little baby wanted to drink from mom, but she wasn't too interested. This is a male ostrich. They are a lot blacker than the females. The females are more of a grey colour. He seemed to be on his own though. Don't know where his ladies were. from one large bird to another. This is a ground hornbill. Sometimes they're called southern ground hornbills. The adults have this red patch of skin around the throat area, but the juveniles, that red is actually a yellow color. That beak of theirs is formidable. They will eat tortoises, snakes, insects, rodents, anything basically they can overpower, I guess. This is a magnificent elephant bull. There's something so special about being in the presence of a bull like this, especially when they're relaxed. He had interesting wrinkles on his forehead, but what a beautiful animal. This female baboon was happily eating away. Seemed to be eating parts of the grass. I couldn't quite see. This was a large herd of buffalo. There have not been good rains this summer, so this dam actually should be a whole lot fuller. Not too much water in it, so I think it's going to be quite a long, dry winter, a bit of a struggle in sort of September, October time. Kruger gets most of their rainfall in summer, in the summer months, from about October through to sort of February. And as I say, it hasn't been a very good rainy season. The fish eagle will actually call shortly, which is a wonderful sound. There's so much going on here. There are oxpeckers, the buffaloes enjoying the mud, others in the water, little calves on the far bank there. Everybody's doing something. Shame. This pride of lions had its problems. You will see as the footage goes on, there were issues. This lioness was very thin, looked old and motley, lots of flies on her face. She didn't look in a good way. Those flowers, there comes the thin lioness going past. The flowers in front of this lion here are wild foxgloves. Nothing like a good stretch. Lions often do things in sync, so if one yawns, then another one will yawn. If they start cleaning themselves, then they'll all start cleaning themselves. If one goes to the loo, then they all seem to need to go to the loo. It's quite strange. It was very difficult to see how many lions were in this pride. I'm not sure. Some were in the grass, some were closer on the roads, but I wasn't sure what the makeup of the pride was. There didn't seem to be any big males. This lioness is also limping, seems to be in milk. And then this lioness can't even use her left back leg at all. Not in a great way. So she's lucky she's in a pride, because the others, she can rely on them hunting. Whereas if a leopard was in that position and couldn't walk on one of its back legs like that, it would probably die, because it's on its own, it's solitary, it has to hunt for itself. So it probably wouldn't make it. And what a way to end any day, with a beautiful sunset and a giraffe and oxpeckers. Really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I look very forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.